Yeah. Peace and blessings. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Welcome back to the Burnell Washburn podcast. Sending you all my love, all my good vibes. Appreciate you tuning in. I got a beautiful episode, an inspiring, uplifting episode for you today to help raise your vibration, put you in a good mood, give you a little bit of mind food. I just love being alive. I love this planet. I'm stoked to be sharing this episode with you today. It really means the world that you guys are tuning in, you guys are sharing it, you're supporting me on Patreon. I'm pretty much the most blessed man to ever have walked the face of the earth. And yeah, I'm just blessed to be co-creating with you guys and spreading this wisdom. And I know it's really impacting people because I'm getting messages every single day of you guys saying, hey, I love this episode of the podcast. You tell me some little takeaway you got or a little aha moment or any type of way that my content has impacted your life in any way. That is the best marketing in the world. Those are testimonials that I can use. I can screenshot those and put them on my Instagram stories, on my Facebook stories, on all my different things. And it helps spread awareness and get the message out to more people so more people can live a happier, healthier, more fulfilled quality of life. And that's my sole mission. That's why I'm on this planet, yo. So I really appreciate you guys helping me fulfill my mission and my purpose. And I know that I'm helping you guys do the same. So it's this mutually beneficial symbiosis, synergistic relationship that we got going on here. And I love you. And I'm proud of you for taking some time out to fuel your mind with some power fuel to help, not only raise your vibration, but equip you with actual logical strategies and tools and techniques that can make your life better. So today I want to talk about a couple things that have been on my heart. It's funny, yesterday I tried to record an episode and I got really stoked, turned my microphone on, got my setup ready to go, got all stoked, and then I don't even know what happened. It's life got crazy. I ended up not recording it, and then I felt kind of off and slipped on, I was on this beautiful high frequency, and then I slipped off onto a somewhat a lower vibe, and I'm not even I need to find a better way than saying low and high, because I don't really think that kind of insinuates that things are good and bad, and I don't believe in good and bad. I believe everything in the universe is neutral, and only our perception of it is what makes it good or bad, you know what I mean? So I slipped on a less desirable frequency, and it was strange because I was feeling really high vibe, just feeling so good. And then I made a couple of maybe lower quality decisions that weren't necessarily as aligned as I wanted to be. And then I felt bad, and so I tried to come back a few hours later and record an episode again. And I got 10-20 minutes into it, and it just wasn't feeling right. Something was feeling off about it, so I just stopped and I said, you know what, I'm not going to force it right now. I'm going to go watch Phantom Menace, Star Wars Episode 1, and just chill. And it turns out that everything is meant to be. Everything always happens for a reason, divine timing, and I just keep reminding myself that anytime life isn't matching my internal blueprint of how I think it should be, I know that's my ego, and then I just go back to this mantra of just everything is exactly how it's supposed to be. Everything is always working out for my greatest good. I even wrote a lyric the other day that was even when I'm losing now is also when I win it. And it had a dope rhyme scheme and all this stuff. I can't remember it all. But it was basically even when I'm falling backwards, even when I'm losing, and I'm still winning because I'm learning and growing. So there's nothing but just blessings and infinite love and up-leveling and growth happening all the time. Even when it looks like things are falling apart, even when it looks like I've fallen off or slipped off path a little bit, it's just a chance for me to realign, to learn, to grow, to raise back up, and it just always feels good. It's not about being perfect all the time. It's not about being on a quote unquote high vibe, high frequency 24/7. Part of the inner work is to slip off and then just keep picking yourself back up. It's all about progress, not perfection. Like I saw my one homie Carl, he's probably listening right now. Shout out to Carl, good ass dude, one of the most generous, awesome people I've ever met, and just a talented artist and an amazing father. And yeah, pretty much everyone that listens to this podcast that I personally know is just such good people. I love you guys so much. But anyway, I see Carl post something the other day about how I was doing really good, and hopefully I'm not putting you on blast, but hey, you posted this on public social media, so it's all I figured it's okay to share. But he said something about I was doing so good on my no soda kick for a while, and then I slipped off path and started drinking soda again. He said something to that effect. And I could tell he was maybe feeling a little bit down on himself for it. And I was like, man, I can relate to that so much. I go through this all the time where things are going really well. I'm choosing the highest frequency habits. I'm living in my higher self. I'm doing all the good things that I know to do. And inevitably, I slip off path a little bit. I fall off the wagon, or I don't know that saying, but I've on the wagon or off the wagon, whatever. I fall off what my higher self knows that I should be doing for the optimal performance and best health and all that stuff. And then, I have to get myself back on the train again and back on the right vibe again. So it's human, it's natural, and that was one of the first things that I wanted to talk about. I commented on Carl's post, and I was like, don't beat yourself up, brother. It's all about progress, not perfection. And this is one of the ways that I was able to let go of my cigarette addiction. Is most people, they say, all right, I'm quitting cigarettes. I'm going cold turkey. Fuck these things. They throw their pack away, and they do really good. And they use willpower for 2 days or whatever, maybe a week, I don't know, a month. They're using willpower to steer away from this, but they haven't really shifted at the identity level yet. So they still view themselves on a subconscious level as a smoker. And they're using their willpower. They're being really hard on themselves. They're craving the cigarette, but they're not doing it. They're they're standing their ground. And that willpower only lasts for so long. And then they slip off and they go and they catch themselves smoking again, or they have a weak moment where they let themselves slip up. They maybe go buy another pack or go light another one up. And then what comes after that is a feeling of guilt and shame, which are two of the lowest vibration emotions on the vibratory scale of emotions. And so then they feel a lot of guilt and shame, and then they don't want to even try quitting again because last time they tried, they slipped up, and then they felt guilt and shame, and they don't want to feel guilt and shame again, so then it's easier to just not try to quit. So then they just go back to smoking, and they're I know a lot of homies that have done this time after time after time, because for years almost all my friends smoked cigarettes or drank or did something that they were addicted to, and they would use willpower and it would last a little bit, and then there's inevitably going to be moments of weakness where life gets hard or stress happens or the willpower just isn't there, and then they slip off, and then they feel guilt and shame, and then they say, then they try again, and then after a while it's man, every time I try to quit I just go back to this. So then they think quitting this addiction is just too hard and it's painful. Every time they try to do it and they don't succeed, they feel bad about themselves, and they feel less confident and less powerful and less, because when we don't follow through with our commitments to ourselves, we hurt our own confidence and self-esteem, and we don't feel like we're as powerful. We don't feel like it's in our control to do something about it because we tried and failed, So it's all about setting yourself up to win rather than setting yourself up to fail. So if the parameters for you to succeed are you being perfect, then you're always going to fail. But if you're just about progress instead of perfection, then you never hit that failure. You don't have to deal with that guilt and shame. You got to give yourself a pat on the back and big up yourself for the things that you are doing right, and be easy on yourself for the mistakes that you've made. You know what I mean? Treat yourself like you're just this sweet little loving kid that's honestly trying to do the best she can or the best he can. and give yourself a little bit of leeway. Give yourself a break. Cut yourself some slack. You know, we can't be too hard on ourselves, because if we're too hard on ourselves, if like a say for example, a parent is like super 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 strict, gonna send you to military school if they catch you doing anything. Now you want to hide from that parent. You want to lie to that parent. You're scared of that parent. You don't think of that parent as this unconditional force of love that wants what's best for you. You start to think of that parent as like an enemy that wants to, beat you up and be harsh on you and criticize you and blame you and all this stuff. And so that's just like a toxic energy, and we all do that to ourselves. We're all like this super strict parent on ourselves for certain things in life. And then we end up hiding from ourselves, lying to ourselves, just being scared of ourselves. And like, I'm just glad that this episode that I was trying to record yesterday didn't work out, because it gave me more inspiration on what to record today. So like I said a minute ago, like everything is always happening for a reason. Even when it looks like you're losing, you're failing, you're actually growing. You know what I mean? So I have a more empowering, more inspiring, better episode for you today, because the episode yesterday didn't work out. And I was beating myself up for it a little bit. Like, I said I was going to do an episode on Tuesday, and here's another time of me not getting one up when I said I was, and not, all my fans are going to stop supporting me and stop seeing me as credible, and all my clients aren't going to want to work with me. And I feel like I went backwards, and and then, like, sometimes what we do, if you're like me, if you're like most people, we slip off a little bit, and then we sabotage because we feel like a lower vibe from slipping off, and then we start doing even more things to slip off even further. So for me, I made like one poor decision, which led to me having less energy, which then led to me making more poor decisions, which led to me basically giving up on the whole day and just going for like immediate pleasure rather than delayed gratification. It led to me just like indulging in like short-term pleasures that weren't going to be really best for me, rather than like doing all the things that I wanted to do. And I started the day on a good energy, wanted to like get all these things done, and I didn't really get any of them done. And I just had to go back to forgiveness and hold space for myself to be like, dude, you're not perfect. You don't have to be Superman all the time. It's okay. If you slipped off a little bit, just get back on. And it doesn't matter how long it's going to take for me to get back on. I'll get back on, and it's going to be all good, and everything's always working out for my highest evolution. And I just need to remember that and not beat myself up about it. So it was actually a beautiful chance to forgive myself. And, I ended up like overeating, which I've been eating really healthy and been really committed to all my high vibe habits. And I ended up just like indulging in all this food, and I was eating healthy, but I just ate way too much. And so then that fucked up my sleep. I didn't sleep as well. And then when I woke up this morning, I felt super groggy because I didn't eat and sleep as well, and I didn't do some of the high vibe nightly routines that I normally do, because I was just feeling drained and from making poor decisions. When you make poor decisions for instant gratification rather than higher self choices, it drains your energy. It's just like money. It's like if I invest all my money in a bunch of, I don't know, dumb stuff like cocaine. I've never done cocaine, but say I went and bought a bunch of cocaine that has such a, like, it's like this immediate quick payoff, but then like total shit after. And I know that from talking to people that have used cocaine a lot. You know what I mean? It's like you just keep wanting more, and you kind of feel shitty after, and you just wasted a bunch of money, and you feel shitty the next day or whatever. But then when you make the high vibe decisions, whereas like you, instead of doing the easy thing, you do what's good for you, like you take the cold shower, or you eat healthy, or you delay the gratification, or you get the thing done that you were procrastinating on, like those all pay off. It's like you wake up feeling better about yourself the next day. You don't wake up feeling groggy and shitty because you just wasted a bunch of energy. You wake up feeling like you have more energy. You know what I mean? It's like you invest your money in the right place, you have more money. But if you just waste your money, you have less and you feel bad. So, anyway, I woke up feeling all groggy and shitty, and I'm just like, oh man, like really feeling like what did I do yesterday? I just totally fucked up and feeling really down on myself. And I just had, like, luckily, since I've been doing so much inner work, it was fairly easy, or at least a lot easier than it has been in the past, to get myself back on track. And right now I feel like I'm back on track. I'm still feeling a little bit heavy and a little bit bloated, maybe from eating too much, feeling like but I've gotten over like the part where I'm beating myself up for not getting stuff done yesterday, and I'm just getting it done today and moving forward with my life. That's all I can do. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why we call it the present. So I'm enjoying my gift of today and making the most of it, and just unconditionally loving myself for the choices I made yesterday, even if they weren't the best. It's okay. I have the opportunity to make new choices today, so I'm going to make the best choices that I can today. And one caveat is, like, when you make these lower vibe choices or addicting old self behaviors and stuff, they're addicting, and so it's so easy to recreate them and get in this like downward spiral. So like, for example, if you like pornography or something is addicting to a lot of people, and I don't try not to watch pornography in any form, and I just know it doesn't feel good. It's like this immediate pleasure and reward, and then you don't feel good after, and you feel way shittier after. And not that sex is bad. Sex is amazing. Self-pleasure is amazing. All that stuff can be done in the highest vibe of ways, but it can also be done in this like terrible low vibe way. And so I try not to do that. And then it can be addicting. You do it one day, you want to do it the next day. And then same, it's just like sugar. You eat a bunch of junk food and sugar. The next day you're going to wake up and you're going to want more sugar and junk food again the next day, and then the next day. So I'm aware of that. So anytime I have like a lower vibe day or like some bad habits, I just know, okay, I'm going to be more susceptible to choosing those same habits again tomorrow. I'm going to have to use a little bit more willpower, a little bit more discipline to not let myself slip into those things again. So it's just like pizza. I never really eat pizza. But if I do eat pizza, I'll wake up the next day wanting pizza again. All of a sudden, pizza will start sounding really good to me again. But when I've been like months and months and months without any pizza, like it does not even sound appealing. It just sounds heavy and I'm gonna feel gross if I eat that. Like, nah, no thank you. I'm chill on that. And not to say like there's healthy pizzas you can get out there for sure, but like, I'm talking like the average pizza joint or whatever. Especially because I'm not into dairy, but last time I had dairy, it just did not feel good. But anyway, like you're gonna crave those things. 'Cause you go into like the animalistic self and the instant pleasure, and you just start wanting to live from that space again. Hold up, let me take a sip of my rasa. And actually, this is a triple mix. It's cold brew, rasa, and Four Sigmatic mushroom coffee with lion's mane and chaga all mixed. Let me take a little sip. Shout out to Rasa, sponsor of the show. Yeah, if you're trying to check your relationship with caffeine, or you just want a high vibrational, herbal, adaptogenic, beautiful drink that's going to make you feel amazing, check out wearerasa.com. I'll put the link to that in the show notes. You can use promo code Burnell for 15% off. It's amazing stuff. It balances your adrenal glands. It balances your hormones. Gives you tons of energy without burning you out, without getting jittery, without crashing after. So you can check out We Are Rasa. That's WeareRasa.com. Wearerasa.com. Promo code Burnell, Burnell, 15% off your order. Had to give them the plug. I appreciate all you guys who have been buying Rasa using my promo code. I get a little kickback from that, obviously. And it's cool. If I can make money by helping people, it's just a win-win-win for everybody. Like, not only am I helping you guys improve your health and giving you showing you a product that's going to make your life better, but I'm helping a good company. I'm pretty sure it was a single mom that started this, and she just seems like an amazing woman with high integrity and high values, and she's just doing good things. So I'm helping grow her company. I'm helping you get healthier, and I'm helping put money in my pocket. Like, it's so easy. Like, all my business endeavors are just like win, 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 win for everyone. And, we're all thriving and benefiting from it. So, shout out to Rasa. Shout out to the Gratitude Gang, all the Patreon supporters making this show possible. But anyway, that was a little side tangent just because I needed to sit. But where was I going with that? I was saying about how you choose like the lower self habits, and then it's going to be easier to choose the lower self habits again. But when you're on a high vibe, it's easier it kind of compounds. Like, there's this compounding interest effect that happens when you stick with your good habits and routines for a long time. And the longer you stick with them, the easier they become. And then it becomes like, it's almost harder to like go. It's harder for me to like eat some junk food when I've been eating really healthy for a long time than it is to just keep eating healthy. Same thing with people that get like almost like addicted to working out, or just addicted to, you can get addicted to positive things. And, I don't like to use the word addicted, but you can just like, ooh, it's 11:11 right now. But you can just get in an upward spiral or a downward spiral pretty easily. But the key is, anytime you slip off path a little bit, just be kind to yourself. Have some compassion. Forgive yourself. Know that it's going to be okay. I know enough now to know that I can slip off path and it's all good. I'm going to get back on a good vibe, and within a few days I'll be crushing in life again. And a lot of times it's actually a blessing, because it reminds me of like, oh yeah, bro, that's why you don't eat dairy. Or, oh yeah, bro, that's why you don't do this. Or that's why you don't watch pornography. Or that's why you make sure to eat healthy. Or that's why you prioritize your sleep. Like, I had a show the other day where I was out till 4 o'clock in the morning, not really by choice, but I guess I'm going to take responsibility for it, because I'm 100% responsible for every aspect of my life. But I basically gave away my power and allowed myself to be out way later than I wanted to be, rather than taking my power into my own hands and doing what was best for me. I allowed circumstances to dictate my livelihood, and it didn't feel good. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of threw me off for a day or two. Messed up my whole serotonin, and I just like felt off and just not good for a few days. And I had to just like it was like, oh, see, this is why you prioritize sleep. This is why you're so strict on your bedtime, and this is why you don't get on your phone or go outside or do certain things late at night, because you just know you don't feel good when you do them. And sometimes you need that reminder. Like, I haven't drank soda in years, but I guarantee if I went and drank like a big gulp of Mountain Dew or something right now, I would feel so shitty that it would instantly remind me of like, oh yeah, that's why you quit soda. So sometimes you need to fall off. You need to like touch the stove again to remember why it's hot. You need to burn your hand and oh yeah, that's why I make sure not to touch the stove. Duh, okay, cool. I'm not going to touch that again for a long ass time now, because I totally remember the pain from it again. Like, you can use pain as a rocket fuel, and I sometimes have to refuel the pain to remember, oh yeah, dude, this is why you are so adamant about these habits and routines and things that you do, because you know how you feel when you do them versus how you feel when you don't do them, or when you do the opposite of them. Like, so even that's just another learning experience and another opportunity to solidify the higher self. So that was kind of on my heart. I wanted to talk about today. First thing is just be kind to yourself, be compassionate to yourself, forgive yourself. Everything's a learning opportunity. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Give yourself massive praise anytime you're doing something well. Like I was talking about cigarettes earlier, how I was able to release my addiction is rather than beating myself up every time I went out and had a cig, I gave myself massive props every time I didn't have one, or every time that I had less than normal. So when I was first quitting, like you guys have kind of heard my story, I went from like 10 a day down to like 5 a day, down to like 3 a day. And then, when I was having 3 a day, and then maybe I had one day where I had 5, rather than like focusing all my energy on, oh my God, I slipped up and I had 5 today when I've only been having 3 and I fucked up and I feel like shit and and I'm a failure and damn, this addiction's hard and all this stuff. Like, I didn't focus much energy on that. The next day I'd only have 3 again. And then I go, dude, you only had 3 today. Good job, brother. You're killing it. Tell everyone that wanted to listen. Yeah, dude, I'm up and down to like 3 a day, dude. I'm doing great. Loving and then I got down to 2 a day, and then 1 a day, then half a day, then 1 a week, then, the occasional split. And it's like, I kept cutting back, and rather than beating myself up for little slip ups, I just gave myself massive praise and just really boosted up my self-esteem anytime I did something remotely right. It's just like with parenting. Little kids will respond a lot better to positive reinforcement than they will to this negative criticism. And that's scientifically proven on so many levels. If you praise a kid for doing something right and give them more attention and more energy for that, they just want to keep doing that. And we're like little kids. Like, we want to keep, if we get praise from ourselves for something, we want to keep that because it feels good. We're like, hey, I love myself for this. I want to keep that up. A little kid gets like a reward for cleaning his room. Boom, he wants to keep his room clean now because he just got a treat for it, or his mom was really nice to him, or his parents made him feel really good about it. And then next week he wants that same dopamine and serotonin rush or whatever, so he's going to clean the room without even being asked, because if he was rewarded for it, he wants that reward again. Versus, like, parents never mention anything when you clean your room, but then the one time you didn't clean your room, they freaked out at you and grounded you and punished you super severely. Like, that's a stronger emotion thing, and you're going to, like, maybe you got more attention for that. And so that's, I've talked about this before on different episodes and on my YouTube channel and stuff, but reward yourself for what you're doing right and be compassionate and kind for anything that you're slipping up on a little bit, and just keep doing the best you can. And your best is different in every moment. Your best one day is different than your best another day. So be easy on yourself. Love yourself. We're all growing here. We're only human. It's not about being perfect, and we're not always going to be just rising up and getting better and better at every single area of our life every day. There's going to be ebb and flow and ups and downs, and, we won't always make the right choices, but we can always shift back, and it's just a beautiful part of life. So that was on my heart today. And the other thing that's on my heart before I let you guys go is something I talked about on a little Facebook video the other day that people seem to really like. And that is the most threatening, detrimental phrase to your personal growth. So the biggest threat to our growth is the phrase, I know. I have a friend who thinks he knows everything. You try to give him advice on any subject, and he's like, I know. And like, but it's one thing to think you know something intellectually, and it's a whole other thing to actually embody it. So you might understand something intellectually, but you might not actually know it in your subconscious, in your heart, in your body. And if you think you know something, but it's not showing up as results in your life, then you don't actually know it. You're not actually practicing it. And it's really time that all of us put on our white belt and become students. Forget that which we think we know, and open up our minds, open up our hearts, open up our ears, and become willing to learn. I've realized recently, kind of had this whole awakening around business and entrepreneurship. I realized, all right, over the last 10 years, I've been flexing, acting like I'm some businessman, acting like I'm some entrepreneur. And I finally just realized, yo, I'm a wantrepreneur. You know what? Yeah, I've made some money. Yeah, I've done some businesses. Yeah, I've had some things be successful, but I'm putting on my white belt. Rather than acting like I'm this cool businessman that knows everything, I'm just going to be a student. Anyone that has better results in business and entrepreneurship than I do, I am listening to them. I'm going to shut my mouth and open my ears and do what the fuck they tell me, because they're getting better results than me, and I would just be foolish to think I know better. You know what I mean? So with like finances, for example. I've read lots of finance books. I intellectually know what I'm supposed to do with money, but if my bank account is not where I want it to be, which I'm blessed that I have anything in my bank account, and I'm just grateful that I'm doing well. But it's not quite where I want to be or where I maybe could be. Even though I intellectually think I know what smart people are supposed to do with money, I'm not emotionally embodying that with all my choices yet, and I'm working towards that. I'm getting better and better every day. But I have to start, I'm rereading financial books, I'm re-listening to podcasts, I'm consuming content that I've already consumed because, repetition's the mother of learning. Got to listen to stuff over and over again to really grasp it. And it takes a while to put things into practice and build habits with it. So I'm ditching the whole notion that I'm an entrepreneur and then I'm a businessman, and I'm going back into like, dude, I'm a student. I want to learn about business. I want to learn about finance. I want to learn about entrepreneurship. I might know certain little aspects, but I'm just going to pretend I know nothing and put on my white belt and listen to people that have the results I want and do what they tell me to do and be a student rather than walking around here boosting my ego, thinking how cool I am. I've used this analogy a bunch before, but it's like with skateboarding. When I was a little kid, all I wanted to do was be a professional skateboarder. That was my biggest dream. That was like move to California, be a pro skateboarder, start a skate company, like boom. That's my life. That's all I wanted to do. And for several years, I was like the best skateboarder in my neighborhood. Small neighborhood, there wasn't that many skateboarders, but I felt really cool about myself, always skateboarding around people than I was better than them. I was doing like gnarlier tricks than them, and I felt pretty cool. Always boosting my ego, but I wasn't excelling and growing. I got to this point where I just kind of was doing the same tricks over and over again, wasn't really learning anything new. And then this one summer, I made a quantum leap. And that quantum leap happened because I met this other kid who was basically a professional skateboarder. He was sponsored. He was one of the best skateboarders I'd ever met. And I started skateboarding with him and his homies. And within like one summer, I learned more new tricks and got better at skateboarding than I had in the previous like 4 or 5 summers combined. Because I was learning through osmosis. I was seeing what was possible. I'm seeing, oh, this cat's just a normal human like me. If he can do it, I can do it. And I started to try new tricks. I started to push out of my comfort zone. All of a sudden, I was the weakest skateboarder in the group. I wasn't the best, so like I had like my whole ego died of being the best skateboarder, and it was kind of painful at the time, but I got a lot better by, and they would tell me, oh, dude, like if I was trying a trick and I wasn't quite getting it, like I remember trying a 360 flip, which is like this, if you skateboard, you know what a 360 flip is. If you don't, it doesn't really matter, but it's kind of a cool technical trick, and it was taking me forever to learn. And then this cat tells me this one little tip, like, oh, you need to scoop your back leg like this and slide your foot just a little bit more this way and you'll get it. Tuck your knee a little bit more. And so then I'm a student rather than like, look at me, how cool tricks I can do. I'm like being humble and listening to his advice, and then I learn how to do it and I master it, and I landed my first one ever, and it was the greatest feeling in the world. I remember just like being on a high for like several days when I did that trick for the first time. So that wouldn't have been possible if I just kept surrounding myself with people that I was better than. And instead, I had to let go of my ego, be humble, and just listen. You know what I mean? So like, and always listen to your internal guidance. Just because someone has better results than you in a certain area doesn't necessarily mean every single thing that they say is going to apply 100% to you. But it does likely mean that a lot of what they can share will help you. So be humble, but be discerning and trust your own inner guidance above anything. You know what I mean? Just because someone's doing well in business doesn't mean everything that they tell me to do is going to fully resonate with how I'm trying to build my life. But chances are I can take some things and I'll apply whatever really resonates with me, and then, throw away or recycle the rest and let go of the rest and just do what feels right to me. So Put on the white belt, open up your ears, open up your mind, open up your heart. Just for a minute even, just pretend that you don't know anything. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. I'm trying to be around people that are just light years ahead of me. And lately I've been, following my bliss and doing what feels right, and it keeps leading me to new opportunities for growth, and I keep surrounding myself with like bigger and better and more successful people that are just like, when I say bigger and better, I don't mean like anyone's better than another person, but like they have the results, or they're closer to the results that I desire to have. And it's cool to like surround myself with all these people. Like I've been having meetings with multi-billionaires, and it's cool. Like when they pull up in their Jaguar or their Lamborghini or these nice ass cars. And I'm not into cars and material possessions personally that much. But when they walk in the room and they pull up in a Lamborghini, I'm like, okay, I might not want a Lamborghini, but I do want to be the kind of person that could afford a Lamborghini if I wanted one. So when they're talking to me, I'm going to listen, and I'm not going to just argue with them or just stick to my old ways. If they say they're doing a certain thing, I'm going to at least try it. I'm going to at least hear them out because, they pulled up in a car that's, a lot nicer than mine. And, it's not like I care about the car, but I'd like to have maybe even that much money that I could donate or buy gifts for people with, or travel the world with, or whatever I would like to do with it, or, equip myself with the highest quality nutrition and biohacking stuff. And so if this dude, has created a certain level of financial freedom in his business where he's able to do that, then I'd kind of be a fool to act to think I know better than him. And I know what's best for me deep down, but I'm going to listen, and I'm going to open up my ears and put on my white belt. And just the second we think we've mastered something, that's when our learning stops. The second we think we know everything, our growth, it just kills our growth. So you guys get the idea. Just put on the white belt and open up to new ideas. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that can help us not have to experience as much pain and hardship because they've already done it. You know what I mean? Like, my little brother has made a lot of the same mistakes that I've made because he doesn't listen to me. I tell him, don't do this or do this because this is going to happen. And trust me, bro, this happened to me and it cost me thousands of dollars and it sucked ass and it was really painful and it was really hard. And instead of being a student, he just, goes and does what he does and has the same shit happen to him. And it's like, bro, if you would have listened to me, I would have helped you. I would have prevented you from making that same mistake. But you thought you knew better. You thought you knew everything and you didn't trust my wisdom. You know what I mean? So a lot of times when people give you advice on a YouTube channel or a podcast or family members or elders or whatever, they're not saying that because they're above you. They're saying that because they love you and they really want to help you, and they really want to help you avoid some of the pitfalls that they've already been through. For me, all this stuff I share is not because look at me, I'm high and mighty, and look how cool I am and how much wiser and smarter I am than you. It's no. I have gone through extreme pain, extreme hardship, extreme challenges that you don't have to go through if you listen to me. And I love you so much. That's why I tell you these things, because I want to help you. I want to make your life easier. I want to make it happier, healthier, and more fulfilling. And so if I tell you certain things to do with your health or your mindset or whatever, I'm not saying that because I'm above you. I'm saying that because I love you, and I know it's going to benefit your life. So I'm trying to remember that, when I'm listening to people that have the results I want to have, and just be like, all right, they're saying that because they love me. They're saying that because they genuinely believe that this advice can help me. So I'm going to at least try it and at least listen. So that's my message for you guys today. And I wouldn't have been able to share this message necessarily if I hadn't have kind of fallen off path a little bit and been okay, this is why I stick to all these good habits and routines, and it's totally okay to fall off. I'm going to forgive myself. In fact, forgiveness is such a beautiful, powerful, healing energy that I'm grateful that I slipped off so I could practice forgiveness. I'm grateful that I slipped off so I could remember what it feels like to be on. I'm grateful that I had a little bit of an off day so I can be that much more inspired and driven to make today good and make tomorrow good. And, I'll just jump back on and keep doing the best that I can. And there's no such thing as wasted time or a failure or a loss. It's just like everything's actually a win, and we're all always gaining and learning and growing no matter what. So be compassionate with yourself, love on yourself. It's okay to slip up a little bit, and we're gonna keep learning and growing. We're never gonna be perfect, so we're just only human and can't be too hard on ourselves. We got to give ourselves props when we're doing right and compassion when we slip off a little bit, and just keep learning and growing and doing the best we can with what we have. So I love you guys so much. I really appreciate you listening to today's episode. If you got any value from this whatsoever, please consider sharing it, screenshot it, post it on your story, tag me, shoot me a text, shoot me a little message or a DM on IG saying that you really liked today's episode or something that you got out of it. Even if it's just like a couple emojis or one sentence, that helps so much, like more than you know. It helps me market it, and we just keep growing on every single episode. It seems like we're getting more and more listeners, so I really appreciate you. And if you want to support this podcast, my YouTube channel, my music, my spirit, my being, the energy that I put out, and the value I provide, it would mean the world to me if you contributed on my Patreon. I'll put the link in the show notes. It's patreon.com/Burnell Washburn. I got a bunch of people throwing $5, $10, $20 a month. And it just means the world to me. Like, I cannot thank you guys. I wish I was better at expressing with words how much it really helps me. Because it might help pay my internet bill or pay for the podcast hosting or pay for some of that kind of stuff, some of the expenses associated with it. But more importantly, it's helping you get more out of it because you're putting more skin in the game. You're paying for my content. You're seeing value in it. So you're gonna go listen to what I have to say and apply it more because you're investing into it. And you want to make sure you're getting something out of what you're paying for. So it's actually helping you more by throwing a little bit of money in the game. It's like, how many free books have I not read versus the book I paid $120 for? I read like cover to cover 8 times. If people don't pay, they don't pay attention, and we value what we pay for, and transformation begins with a transaction a lot of the time. So it helps me know that you're getting value from it, and it inspires me to keep going. It makes my life a little bit more convenient because I don't have to work as much on other things, and I can do what I'm passionate about, which is helping spread, empowering ideas and healing energy and tools and all the things that I do. It's helping me live out my soul's mission, so that means the world to me. And the money is just a tool that helps me fulfill my mission. But it also helps you more, and it's a win-win-win for everybody. So check out patreon.com/Burnell Washburn. I never expect it, but I really appreciate it, and I've even had some people say, like, hey, I don't want to, like, I'm not sure if I can support every single month because my income's kind of up and down, but could I just PayPal you or Venmo you $20 or something because I really like this shit? And like, that's dope too. Like, I've had a few people do that, and it brightens up my day and helps me stay on a frequency where I'm like, all right, my mission is to serve, and I'm living that, and it's helping people, and I want to keep serving more and more, and it just inspires me and helps me more than words can express. So thank you so much. But again, even if you're just sharing it or shooting me a message, that also helps big time too. So really, really appreciate you. Really love you so much. Last thing before I go is I want to mention briefly, I'm going to do a whole episode on this, but I briefly wanted to mention my upcoming Quantum Vision workshop. This is my passion project. This is my baby. This is like the most exciting thing in my life right now. It's coming up on 2/22/2020, February 22nd in Salt Lake City. And there's only 50 spots open. 6 of them have already sold, so there's 44 spots left. And it's going to be this amazing life visioning workshop that's going to include keynote speakers. I have some super successful entrepreneurs and artists that are just living their dreams coming to speak and inspire us. We're going to be doing sound healing, sound baths, activations, guided visualizations, guided meditations, a bunch of journaling and scripting assignments that are absolutely life-changing. Together, we're going to be making a giant quantum jump into a whole new reality where we get to wake up excited every day to live our dreams and fulfill our mission. And we go to bed every night just deeply fulfilled, grateful, stoked on how we spent our energy, how we invested our energy, and excited about what's to come. And we're just like living out our mission, knowing that we're making an impact, using our gifts to help the planet. And we're going to become ultra clear on our vision. So this is going to be a tight-knit group of people that are really dedicated to the spiritual self-development work, who are ready to just live their dreams. And we're not going to just talk about creating your ideal reality. We're actually going to create it. We are actually going to go into the quantum field and do the work of creation, of getting clear on exactly what our vision is and exactly where we're trying to go. So then we can filter all of our choices and habits and behaviors and actions through this vision. So I know what foods to eat, what not to eat, who to hang out with, who not to hang out with, how to spend my time, how to use my money, what things to say no to, what calls to answer, what texts to reply to. All of these things are easy for me to make decisions on because I know exactly where I'm trying to go. And when you know where you're trying to go, it's easy to make the right decisions. So that's basically what this whole workshop is about, but it's also just about connecting with the beautiful community that's going to raise your vibration and help you. So not only are you going to get the workshop, but you're going to get this community, this new, like, you're going to have new members of your soul tribe that are going to have your back. They're going to help you, and a lot of them have different resources and connections and tools and things that can all benefit each other, so we can all get to where we're trying to go just a little bit smoother, a little bit faster, and we can actually fulfill our soul's mission on this planet. So it's going to be so much fun. It's like, I literally wake up every day just thinking about it, and I keep adding more and more to it, and the value that I'm providing, like, honestly, I should be charging like 10 times what I'm charging because it's going to be so life-changing. But right now I have early bird tickets on sale for $88. And as a special bonus, the first 10 people are getting a 2-hour mentorship session with me for free, which is normally $150 an hour, so that's normally $300. So even if you didn't even come to the workshop, this mentoring session with me would actually more than pay for itself times 10. I always give at least 100 times, or just I give way more value than what I'm asking in return, or else I don't feel good about doing it. I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it to take advantage of people. All I want to do is help people and have them feeling like so grateful for what I gave them that they just want to keep coming back for more and more, because they're just like, damn, I can't believe, I only paid that much for all that. Like, wow. So $88 to reserve your ticket. You can Venmo or Cash App or Facebook pay me, or PayPal, or you can even Bitcoin me, whatever, to reserve your spot. And the first 10 people are getting the 2-hour mentorship session with me, so which 6 of them have already sold, so there's 4 more spots to get the mentorship session. And then tickets are just $88. And then like their ticket prices are going to go up next month. Then it's going to be $111, and it's going to kind of keep going up until the day of the workshop. But it's going to sell out. I've had a lot of people saying they're buying tickets soon, and you're going to want to act fast on this, especially if you want to be in that first 10 to get that free mentorship session. But you're also going to get you're going to get so much stuff. So I'm going to do a whole episode on everything that's coming with the Quantum Vision Workshop. I just wanted to throw that out there because this is going to be powerful. All the people that have signed up so far are extraordinary. So far it's 3 girls and 3 boys, so it's kind of like 50-50 on that aspect right now. And all 6 of the people that have already bought tickets are just like beautiful souls, kind-hearted, loving people that are, non-judgmental, just open-hearted, good peeps that want what's best for themselves, and they want to thrive, and they want to build up their soul tribe and live their dreams. And a lot of them want to quit their job or just like shift into like doing something that they're more passionate about, and or maybe just get a little more clear on where they're really trying to go in life, so they have an easier time making decisions that empower them and that embody this higher self reality that they're creating. So it's going to be super fun. It's going to be super high energy, and it's going to change lives. Like, we are literally going to make a quantum leap together as a collective, to where all of us are going to look back at this event and say, like, this is one of the best things that we ever invested in. And our life just got better and better after attending this. So Quantum Vision Workshop, February 22nd in downtown Salt Lake City. If you want more information on that, just shoot me a message on IG at Burnell Washburn, or just on any of the social media platforms. If you have my number, you can text me and we can hop on a little call about it or whatever. I know it's just gonna, I know the right people are gonna be there, so I'm not even really trying to sell it super hard. It's just like, it's gonna sell out. The people that are meant to be there are gonna be there, and if you feel inspired, expansive just by the thought of it, if you feel like something about it just seems intriguing, then you owe it to yourself to at least check it out. So hit me up and I can get you more info and we can work it out. Like, I even have one of the people doing like payment plan, so because they didn't want to, it wasn't as comfortable for them to just pay the full 88 up front, which is totally understandable, and I'm willing to work that out with some of you guys too, because it's, like I said, it's not about the money. Like, I'm not even going to profit like a crazy amount on this whole thing, because I'm pretty much investing all the money into the experience. I'm gonna make profit, but not like a crazy amount. It's like it's a passion project for me, and I'm gonna keep reinvesting that into making, even better workshops, and just keep providing more and more value. So this has been on my heart for a long time, and I'm so excited that I'm just finally taking action. I finally just I got clear on what it would look like, and I just started putting all the pieces together and writing it out, and then boom, booked the venue, made the flyer, made the event page, and just started selling it on social media, and the first 6 people already signed up, and it's a real thing now that's coming into fruition. It's my first self-development spiritual event. I've done little workshops and things at other people's events, other festivals like Reggae Rise Up and stuff like that, but this is my first endeavor on this new chapter of my life, and I'm just going to be more excited about it. So check that out. If you're interested, you can shoot me a message and we'll talk a little bit more about it and get you signed up if you feel called to it. So thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. Take a deep breath. Realize how blessed we are to be alive on this planet, to have physical bodies, to have consciousness, to have oxygen, to have water, to have healthy nutrition, to have opportunity. Infinite opportunity, infinite possibilities lie before us. We have so much more power than we could ever realize, and we can really be, do, and have anything in this planet. So go create an amazing rest of your day. I love you so much. Don't underestimate the ripple effect of your smile, of your word, of just holding the door open for someone. The smallest little things could be the biggest things for someone else, and your positive energy really is contagious. You can be infectious with your energy and just light up the room. And like I've talked about this before, are you being the thermostat or are you being the thermometer? Thermometer just tells the temperature, but a thermostat sets the temperature. So you're such a bright, warm, loving being. You got to be the thermostat. Every room you walk into, raise the consciousness, raise the energy, make everyone in the room feel more loved and more accepted and safer and happier and more fulfilled, just because you're there. Just because you walked into the room, you have the power to do that every single moment of the day. So don't ever forget that. Keep using your energy for good, and I'll see you really soon on another episode. Peace and blessings. Love you with all my heart. Talk soon.